Time now for Football Night New York as we're joined by former Jet Leger Douzable and SNY NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano. And Leger, let's start with you. Zach Wilson showed a ton of toughness behind that battered offensive line on Sunday, but he was knocked around all day. How fixable are the Jets' O-line issues?
Eamon, it's very fixable. This was game one, and people have to realize this offensive line has not played a lot of snaps together. You look at Elijah Vera-Tucker, he was hurt for most of training camp, didn't get any game action. Mekhi Becton, who actually got hurt this past Sunday, missed some time with injury too. And George Fant, in the beginning of camp, missed some time. So this offensive line is a veteran group besides Elijah Vera-Tucker. They haven't had a lot of time to gel, and a lot of those twist games that the Panthers were running, that's all about knowing and trusting the guy next to you. And you can only do that if you get reps. So this group will gel together as the season goes on, but there will be some growing pains in the early parts of the season.
Certainly does not help that Mekhi Becton is beat up, as you mentioned. All right, Ralph, the Giants' defense was a major disappointment on Sunday, but its offensive coordinator Jason Garrett facing much of the heat on Monday. What adjustments should he make to get the critics off his back?
Well, I don't know that he can make adjustments except for the fact that he's got to, get used to calling plays for the offensive talent that they have now. They did not have a lot of time this summer to do that, and that was a big problem. They warned us that it was going to be a big problem. Kenny Golladay, Kyle Rudolph, Kadarius Toney, Saquon Barkley all missed time and considerable time during the summer. So when they came out in week one, I don't know that they knew what they could do. And, obviously Saquon is not quite himself yet. So I think it's going to take time. They told us it was going to take time. He will get creative as it goes along. It'll also help if he gets the ball a little bit more. Don't forget, they only had the ball in the first half for 11 minutes, and a lot of that was because of the defense. So, they literally need more time to put this thing together.
All right, Ralph, as you mentioned, Saquon's not himself yet, so this one's for both of you. But, Leger, let's start with you, since you know how tough it is to recover in a short week. How much of a factor can Saquon Barkley be on Thursday night?
Well, it just depends if, he had no setbacks last week. They didn't use him much. They kind of tailored his workload down, only had 10 carries, I believe, 1 reception. But it all comes back to how Saquon feels. In a short week, I remember playing in a lot of Thursday night football games. And there was one time I had a bum ankle. I had twisted my ankle on that Sunday game, and you have a short week to recover. I wasn't myself when I played on that Thursday night game. So it really comes down to if Saquon feels like himself, if he's healthy enough, he's going to go out there and produce. But the thing is, you also have to be smart. This guy's coming off an ACL. You don't want to rush him back out there. They took some of his snaps down last week. I would see the same thing going in week 2 because you don't want to rush him back out there before he's ready, and then he gets another injury.
Yeah, and what Joe Judge said on Monday is that Saquon came out of the game okay, and if there are no setbacks in this short week, and if the medical staff doesn't intervene and say something's come up, they plan not only to play him, but the word he kept using is advance him. We're going to advance his recovery a little bit. I don't think that means a lot more carries. I would think that you're going to see about what you saw in the last game. He was on the field for about 50% of the snaps. He had those 10 carries. Maybe if they had the ball more, they would have gotten him a little more action, and they might do that on Thursday. But you're not going to see him anywhere near a full workload just yet because they've said all along they're playing the long game with him. They want him ready for down the stretch, what they hope will be a playoff chase. They're not going to really work to beat his body and beat that knee down now when the more important games are later on.